this is Mario Joyner, your Las Vegas probate specialist. I'm shooting today from beautiful Majestic Park with Lone Mountain as my backdrop. I welcome you back for another video. I've spent many weeks discussing probate, the process, timelines, roles and responsibilities, etc. Today, I will share how you can avoid probate and some of the most important advantages to avoiding probate. Okay, I just can't wait to share some. Just some of the advantages of probate are avoiding the costs associated with probate, the complexity and time associated with probate, and the lack of privacy associated with probate. In addition to the advantages and tools to avoid probate, I will share a few of the ways to distribute property that does not involve the probate process and they don't involve setting up a trust. Can't wait to share those with you. Here we go. Now, if you've heard anything about probate, you were probably told to avoid it at all costs. However, you may not know what it is, what the drawbacks are, and most importantly, how best to avoid it. Just a quick review for those of you who've watched my videos before, and if this is your first video, what is probate? The term probate refers to a legal process in which a decedent's estate is distributed under the supervision of a court. The probate process generally involves determining the validity of the decedent's will or lack thereof, documenting the decedent's property, ensuring that taxes and debts owed by the decedent's estate are paid, and distributing assets according to the decedent's will or state laws. Generally, the probate process is handled by a probate court. The purpose of a probate court is to oversee all matters involving the decedent's estate, such as estate administration and guardianships of an estate. The probate process is controlled by state law and therefore varies from state to state. Many states, including Nevada, have permitted a simplified probate process for smaller states. A large number of states have adopted the Uniform Probate Code, or UPC. The UPC is a set of model laws that specifically address issues related to wills, trust, and estates. The UPC was created in order to streamline the probate process as well as make estate and probate administration easier and more cost-effective. If the deceased left a will, the court tries to honor the request indicated. However, if there is no will, the assets are distributed as the court deems appropriate. If you want to make sure your favorite niece or nephew gets a bigger inheritance than your son or daughter, it is important to leave a will. Now, how can I avoid the probate process? There are a few different ways to distribute a decedent's estate that does not involve the probate process. Some of these include joint tenancy. This is a type of property ownership in which two or more people own part of a property. When a joint tenant dies, the remaining joint tenants inherit the decedent's share of the property as opposed to the decedent's heirs inheriting the share. Joint tenancy is typically associated with the legal co-ownership of a home, car, or bank account. The property's co-owner automatically receives full ownership of the asset without having to go through the probate process in order to pass the title. There are specific conditions that must be met for joint tenancy to exist. Now, life insurance policies. Life insurance policies in which a person pays a premium each year and names a beneficiary may circumvent the probate process. The named beneficiary automatically receives the life insurance benefits and payout when the policyholder dies. Individual retirement accounts, 401ks, and other tax-deferred plan proceeds, these accounts automatically pass the finances on to designated beneficiaries that are listed in the plans. It is important to remember to designate the correct beneficiary and keep your beneficiary designations current. For example, your beneficiary-driven account may end up in your probate estate if your name transfer on death beneficiary passes away before you. Trust. Trust involves transferring the legal title of an asset to a trustee. When the estate owner dies, the named trustee is bound to distribute the decedent's property according to the terms of the trust. There are 7 different types of trust intended for different purposes. What are the advantages of avoiding the probate process? The main advantage to avoiding probate is cost. Probate costs generally include attorney's fees and can be costly, especially if the decedent owns property in a different state. This is due to the fact that probate proceedings would be required in both states, although a trust would likely correct this problem. Trust can be tailored to meet specific requests, which is not necessarily true of the probate process. Because the execution of a trust is much less formal than that of a will, the terms of a trust can easily be changed to suit the needs of the estate. Another advantage to avoiding the probate process is that the process can be complicated as well as time-consuming. Probate can take up to several years to completely resolve all matters related to the decedent's estate. Avoiding the process can help settle things more quickly. Another advantage to avoiding the probate process is privacy. Wills and probate proceedings are matters of public record. If you would prefer to keep your affairs private and that people not involved do not know how your estate was distributed, you will need to distribute your estate through a trust or some other estate planning mechanism. Why avoid probate? Your family might have no immediate access to cash. It can take weeks or even months to access a deceased person's cash. Your heirs can be stuck footing the bill for everything from the funeral to your household utilities during that time if your estate must be probated. Your family probably won't be able to access the cash in your bank accounts during this time period either. They'll have to maintain property insurance and pay taxes and possibly storage fees until probate is officially open, and that can't happen without a court order. Your property and insurance policies must be maintained until the estate can take over. If you have a spouse who doesn't work and doesn't have access to her own funds, she can be left scrambling to pay for even the most basic living expenses like groceries. There are some disadvantages to avoiding probate that you should consider. In general, it costs slightly more to create and fund a trust than it does to create a will. However, as previously mentioned, it could save money in the long run by avoiding paying probate costs out of the estate. Additionally, in order to completely avoid the probate process, you must carefully place all new assets you obtain into the trust. Otherwise, probate may still be necessary. Finally, taxes can be a bit higher for the first years after your death if the estate is distributed through a trust, as opposed to a will. Now, do I need an attorney for avoiding the probate process? Here's my answer to this. As with any estate planning, you should consult with a skilled and knowledgeable estate planning attorney. An experienced attorney can ensure you understand your state's laws regarding probate and estate distribution, as well as advise you of your best estate planning options. Additionally, an estate attorney can also advise you regarding the best possible estate plan suited for your needs and the size of your estate. Finally, an attorney can represent you in court should any dispute arise. In conclusion, feel free to contact me about your personal situation or calendar a consultation. Please reach out to me if you would like a referral to any of the resources that can answer specific questions or execute these strategies. I am happy to share. Thanks again for watching, and remember, you can request a free probate treasure chest. Includes reports, timelines, and process information if you're currently in the probate process.